Hello guys, the Caledonian Sleeper here, once again, and I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. 2 years ago, I have watched James A. Williams' big project called Tomtober, which goes through every single season of Thomas the Tank Engine, plus their movies and specials at the end. And then I've watched Dalek 44's TMcember series that were made back in 2012 and 2018 respectively. After watching both of those series, this inspired me to come up with my own Nostalgia Critic Styles retrospective series for the month of December. This December, I'm going to be talking about a certain video series that not many people had talked about before. I am going to go through every single video of the I Love Toy Train series made by TM Books and Video. Producing videos since 1993, I Love Toy Trains was one of TMBV's most popular video series of all time. It's without a doubt that a lot of these videos are fun to watch, and they're certainly one of the best train videos you'll have ever seen. They were best known for everything, from showing lots of footage of toy trains and real trains, to educational segments about railroads and trains in general, as well as some special effects, the music written and composed by James Coffey, and some funny toy train bloopers. The videos had been sold nearly 3 million copies, and it became TM's flagship series. It's been given acclaim and positive reviews from parents, librarians, and even from train buffs. It's won many awards like the prestigious Parents' Choice Award and so many other awards that the series had won. So far, dozens and dozens of videos were sold like at Blockbusters, toy stores, libraries, and even at Heritage Railroad gift shops. I think it was safe to say that the I Love Toy Train series were a phenomenon for everyone who is a fan of trains, from hobby models to rail fanning. Even some people from the Thomas fandom were fans of I Love Toy Trains. Many of the videos had made an impact on us and were still beloved by train fans like myself. And a lot of these videos still mean a lot to us today as they did back then when we were kids. I've been cherishing on them for the past 15 years. So this year in December, I'll be talking about them in my brand new video series called TMcember. It will be a retrospective video series where I'll be going through every single installment of a series made by TM in nearly the past 50 years. Good God, I forget to realize that TM is turning 50 next year, Jesus. So the first thing I will do in this video series is that I'll be talking about every single video installment of I Love Toy Trains. Since this year is the 30th anniversary of the show, I think it would be very appropriate to talk about them. Keep in mind, this is going to be just the original I Love Toy Train series, and that is strictly parts 1 through final show. That also includes the music video and Oh No, which I'll be talking about both of them at the end of the video series. I am not going to be talking about the later I Love Toy Trains videos from All Aboard and onwards, at least not yet. It's either because that I was not a fan of them, or that they don't seem to interest me as much as the old series. Not that they were bad or anything, but they just don't seem to be as good as the classics. That's just my bias though. As for the other video series by TM like John Deere, Cat Machines, or Christmas videos, I'll probably be saving one of them for next year to talk about. But this year, it's going to be just the I Love Toy Train series for now. And last but not least, all of these videos that I'm going to cover are going to be based on my thoughts and opinions on them. So don't overreact if you disagree with me. We all have different opinions that we may want to share with each other. We shouldn't dictate other people by saying their opinions are wrong. Anyway, so let's get started. As always, we open with a song. Intro.
That's the reason I love toy trains.
Here we go. Starting off with this series was part 1, the video where it all began. Let's talk about the backstory first. The year was 1993. Film producer Tom McComas had made some very successful train videos like Great Toy Train Layouts of America, Toy Train Review, and many others that he had produced during the late 80s and early 90s that often feature Lionel or American Flyer for the most part. Around that time, he had a 2-year-old son named Jeff, and he is a kid that's full of energy and is very active. But the only time he would slow down would be that he'll watch his father's train videos, whether that'll be either at his studio or at home. So Tom decided to create a little train show for him, a fun one at that, which showcases everything about trains, both real and toy, with steam engines, diesel engines, the sounds of bells, whistles, chugging, and station announcements as they travel around tunnels, bridges, yards, trees, stations, and many other places, as well as some farm animal jokes, dogs barking, little people, a circus, and so much more. It was exactly the video that Jeff wanted, so when he sat down and watched Tom's video, he really liked it a lot. Jeff was just sitting there watching the whole video his father had made, and then when the video was over, he wanted to see it again and again. Much to their amazement, his wife Cheryl suggested to Tom that he should put together a little train video series for him, and if Jeff liked it, so will the other kids. And sure enough, that's what he did. Tom made a few tweaks to the video by polishing out the edits, and it was soon taken to a video trade show in Las Vegas dubbed I Love Toy Trains. The name was stuck. It premiered at a Videos Dealer Association with a monitor and posters showing the title of the video, and when it was shown there, it became a home run success. Many kids and adults who were watching the video enjoyed the trains, songs, farm animals, and many more. Upon the release of the video, there were demands from Reader's Digest, Blockbuster, librarians, and other stores to sell as many copies of the video across the country, and within 6 months, the video had sold dozens and dozens of copies, over 100,000 of them. Needless to say, the video was a big hit. So, that's how I Love Toy Trains came to be. Now with that out of the way, let's talk about the video itself. The word I would describe about part 1 is that it is simple, yet at the same time it was really charming. There may not be a story, and there may not be many educational segments yet, like how future installments had shown later on, but it was pure fun, with lots of train footage, and with the addition of some fun and whimsical segments in it too. However, the only educational segment in this video is the one about trees and logs, which is narrated by Leela Brilson, one of Jeff's babysitters that TM had hired.
But we have to be careful not to cut down too many trees, because birds need trees to build their nests, and people need trees too.
So that's how I would describe part 1 as. It was simple, whimsical, and yet pure fun, and it was still adored by many kids and adults alike, even railroad enthusiasts. The video consists of train footage from TM's other video series, Great Toy Train Layouts and Toy Train Review, including footage from the Heston Steam Museum, which they operate the trains in all different gauges from narrow gauge to miniature. The Heston Steam Museum is located 5 miles from their studio, and Tom and his crew went out there to capture some footage that they could take, so they could put the clips together into some of their videos. Honestly, the Heston Steam Museum clips were my favorite parts about this video. There is also some segments with some good train action in them, from the music by Fred Holstein to Network Music Ensemble, or the children from a local school singing songs like I've Been Working on the Railroad or Old MacDonald Had a Farm, or in a different version of the song, Old MacDonald Had a Train, which was sung many times throughout the video, whether that will be about the farm animals like the cows or chickens, or for the railway yard like the coal or barrel. I personally didn't mind it, but to some people, how about you? Would it drive you crazy if the kids were singing Old MacDonald every time in the video? Also, Old MacDonald Had a Train was later covered by James Coffey in I Love Toy Trains Part 5, but we'll get there. There's also more train action with the music done by Network Music Ensemble. The name of the tracks used for the video were Old Number 7, which is a fan favorite, and Country Jamboree. I do get a kick out of Country Jamboree from the original version of I Love Toy Trains number 1, until we get to the part where there's a toy train crash done in slow motion at Lou Palumbo's underground hobby model shop. And then out of nowhere came a scary witch flying around with her broom, laughing! Thankfully, it was replaced with the Lionel scale model of the Chesapeake and Ohio Allegheny in the 2000 versions and beyond. I don't blame Tom for wanting to re-edit that scene because that would be too terrifying for kids. I'm glad I've watched the later versions of Part 1 when I was a little kid. One of the highlights about this video include the circus scene from the Choo Choo Barn, with the funny animals in them, the random clips with the clown playing on a saxophone from Bruce Manson's toy collection, the fire scene, which is also from the Choo Choo Barn, is basically footage taken from Toy Train Review number 3, with narration done by Tom Earhart.
There goes the fire alarm. The fire truck comes out of the station. Traintown Volunteer Fire Company number 1. The truck rushes to the scene. It pours water on. The fire is struck.
And everyone's favorite, the funny blooper segments. Those segments gave me a chuckle, seeing some mishaps, accidents, and mistakes happening on a couple of layouts, yet they were played out in such a funny way, and I guarantee that you'll be laughing once you see them. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, they've added the oh no sound effect whenever there was a crash or accident that happened on a train layout. The goofy oh no vocal is done by Tom's wife Cheryl McComas, which kinda sounds like a dog barking at a scene of a disaster, even when it's a ridiculous one.
Oh no!
The music is done by a group called, well, Music, from the album aptly named Effects. It was the flute trotting track that they used in the blooper segment, by the way. The silent movie pursuit track from the same album is also used for the fire scene as well. And trust me, TM had incorporated a lot of tracks from the Music Effects album into some of their videos. So you know once you've listened to them, you'll find out where they get them from, if you check out the album first. There is even a segment featuring renowned Disney animator Ward Kimball and his vintage toy train layout and collection, with 2 toy trains running on a layout, and then both of them end up colliding into each other for an intense crash scene. Jesus, that crash scene was really extreme. It felt like it came out from an action movie or something. And it's a terrifying one too for a kid's video, but at least they really pulled it off here. Speaking of Ward Kimball, he appears in the beginning of every volume of I Love Toy Trains, all 13 of them leading up to the final show. After you would see the title on the screen with the narrator saying, "Hi kids, welcome to I Love Toy Trains whatever," you then see this clip that stood the test of time. And that is the clip of Ward Kimball inside his warehouse at the Grizzly Flats Railroad, where we could see him inside the cab of a preserved steam locomotive ringing the bell and blowing the whistle as if he was waving at us. TM had chosen this clip as a way to open up the video, and this became an iconic feature of the show. It had been used consistently throughout the series. And then after that, it cuts to another iconic feature of the entire I Love Toy Trains series. The Firehouse stomp music by a Dixieland jazz band called Firehouse 5+2. Having Ward Kimball and Firehouse stomp together creates the best introduction for an I Love Toy Trains video. I love the Firehouse stomp music, and it would have you feeling excited as this video is about to begin, and the music never gets old. I've listened to it many times as a little boy, and I'm still listening to it as a boring adult. While parts 2 and 3 did try out different tracks to kick off the show, it was Firehouse Stomp that ultimately became its mainstay throughout the series' run. At the end of the video was the 4th of July parade scene, also from the Choo Choo Barn, and some footage from TM's first video they had ever produced titled Lionel the Movie, with scenes from the Lionel rocket launching car and the rocket ship that's ready for takeoff, and then fades into the last clip of the video, which was that dazzling and amazing 4th of July fireworks display show. And that is how the video ends. I gotta say though, that was an epic conclusion to the video. Now let's talk about the credits sequence at the end of the video, which not many people are a fan of. The end credits that had Bruce Manson's toys in it were kinda weird. It was first shown in Great Toy Train Layouts of America Part 3, where at the end of the day, during nighttime, Bruce Manson said goodnight to all of the toys, and then he had left his little hobby shop to go home. But then, as if by magic, all of his toys, including his American Flyer train layout, all sprang to life at night, as if they seemed to. Frankly, I think this scene is kinda creepy in both videos.
Although personally, I think they're cool, not gonna lie.
It was shown at the end of Great Toy Train Layouts of America number 3, and then it was shown here during the end credits sequence of I Love Toy Trains number 1, which again, music was done by Music from the Effects album, specifically the lullaby track that was used in. Once again, I'm glad that I didn't get to see the older videos of Part 1 as a little kid, because as I got a little older, when watching that from both videos, I had a little more courage that I can muster than how I did as a little boy. So yeah, I Love Toy Trains Part 1. What can I say? 30 years later and this video is still a banger. While some later versions are better, along with parts 2 and 3, and had more train footage in it, I think the original Part 1 is still a classic, and still will be enjoyed by both kids and adults who like trains in general. It's got some good train action, with cool sound effects, nice music by Fred Holstein, funny farm animal jokes, and a said rail fan who is an animator from Walt Disney, and many more. If you're looking for a video about trains that is not about Thomas, but still be fun to watch for all ages, I highly recommend I Love Toy Trains Part 1. As for me, I still think this video is charming. I enjoyed it as a little boy back then, and I still enjoyed it as an adult. Without this video, or other I Love Toy Trains videos for that matter, my interest for real or toy trains, let alone here in America, wouldn't be possible. Part 1 is an excellent start to the series, and you can tell that Tom and his team done a great job on making a toy train video for kids beyond the range of the hobby. But TM isn't done yet, oh no, because this is only the beginning. We still have more videos to come, so it's gonna be a long journey ahead of us. So see you tomorrow for I Love Toy Trains number 2.